Today is September 23rd, which means that we may finally find out who's behind the bunny hidden messages that have been going around at live events and WWE TV programming for the last few weeks. Right now, everyone assumes that this is leading to a Bray Wyatt return, and ultimately, I'm going to have to agree with that. I think he's definitely coming back, and there's a lot of signs that point to it. There's been plenty of clues, and I'm going to dissect it for you. The first one being the video of the Hangman game that asked the question, who killed the world? And the answer was, you did. One of Bray Wyatt's nicknames was the Eater of the Worlds, which means that this could be a reference to that. If you need any more proof about this clue, there's even an interview with Michael Cole where Bray Wyatt answers questions about the world with those two specific words, you did.
I didn't make the world the way it is. You did. You did. And people like you did.
Then there's the White Rabbit. A lot of people thought that this could have been related to Karrion Kross, but a new tweet by Bray Wyatt's concept artist Kyle Scarborough could point to the Fiend. He posted a photo of a creepy character with a rabbit head. He captioned the photo, "Feed your head," which is the exact phrase that appeared at the beginning of the White Rabbit teaser. This definitely seems to be connected to Bray Wyatt more and more as time passes. Even the font of that video seems to be related to Bray Wyatt. When you look at those words, you did, and compare it to some merchandise that Bray Wyatt used to have, it looks extremely similar. Another hidden clue in the White Rabbit teaser is the hourglass inside a red circle. The hourglass could be a reference to Karrion Kross. This theory would match with all the other people who predicted that this could be the return of Karrion Kross's old gimmick and theme song as the White Rabbit. However, I don't think that this entire buildup is leading to that, because it wouldn't make sense to build up a return after he just returned a month ago, especially considering that it's revolving around a theme song and a lot of WWE's audience wouldn't even be aware of that. That would just be whack. It's possible though that the red circle could be a reference to Bray Wyatt, because last May, Wyatt used a red circle in a tweet and he placed it after the phrase, "I'm ready now." While you can take this reference and believe it's Karrion Kross, the red circle could definitely be a reference to Wyatt and maybe even both guys. Having the hourglass inside the red circle could mean that the two might join forces. That could mean that Bray Wyatt is bringing back the Firefly Funhouse puppets to life. People are expecting to see this thing show up to SmackDown tonight, so it will be interesting to see if Bray Wyatt does end up coming back. I personally would love to see the Fiend return, with him controlling some wrestlers that would represent the Muppets. The Bunny is Karrion Kross, Scarlett is Sister Abigail, Dexter Lumis is Mercy the Buzzard, and Braun Strowman would be Huskus. And of course, Bray Wyatt is the mastermind behind all of them. I think that would be insane. If you aren't sold just yet on Wyatt's WWE return, well then here's a clip of him reportedly working out inside a ring, and it looks like he's preparing for a comeback inside the squared circle. In other news, Malachi Black isn't the only former WWE wrestler that requested his release from AEW to possibly join WWE again now that Triple H is in charge. We got some interesting news regarding more AEW wrestlers that want to leave the promotion to come back to WWE. As we learned about a month ago, there was an AEW wrestler that was contacted by WWE representatives talking about leaving All Elite Wrestling to come back, and that wrestler is more than happy with AEW, so then he reported the incident to Tony Khan. This led to AEW sending an email to Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon warning them not to tamper with their talents. According to Dave Meltzer, Malachi Black was one of the people that WWE reached out to, even though he had signed a 5-year deal with AEW. Black recently revealed that he asked for his release from AEW, and Meltzer also noted the following. When Triple H took over from Vince McMahon, WWE contacted a number of former WWE talents that were working there that either had left on their own or that Vince McMahon had fired. Black was not the only person to ask for his release at the time. The fact that more than one person asked for their release is probably what triggered Tony Khan to act like a maniac at the all-out media scrum. While backstage morale in AEW has reportedly improved following the recent backstage drama, Meltzer questioned if Tony Khan should keep wrestlers under long-term contracts if they don't want to be there. If I had to guess, I think names like Miro, Andrade, maybe Buddy Matthews news, or maybe even FTR could be amongst those people who asked for their releases. That is my pure speculation, but I feel like a majority of those guys haven't done anything too memorable in AEW, and they also have great relationships with Triple H, so we might see more people being released in the future of AEW. There's been an update on CM Punk and his status regarding AEW, and it's not going to be any good news for anyone that is a fan of CM Punk. We may have seen his last match in AEW, which means it could be his last match ever, since the company is not expecting to bring him back. In fact, he might be bought out of his contract. Here is what Wade Keller said about the situation while recapping AEW Dynamite's Grand Slam events. When discussing the Ring of Honor World Title match between Chris Jericho and Claudio, Keller noted how CM Punk's name was excluded when they talked about big names that have held that title. Keller also added that he does not expect Punk to return, and while nothing is 100% set in stone, things seem to be leaning towards a buyout of Punk's contract. Here is the direct quote from him. I think this is noteworthy but not surprising that he excluded CM Punk's name as he talked about some of the biggest names who have held that title. That is a bit of a tell. I'm not expecting CM Punk to wrestle again in AEW. I'm not saying it's a 100% sure thing, but everything is pointing in that direction of some sort of a buyout of his contract. We'll learn more eventually about the situation. If that is how CM Punk's career ends, that would be very sad. What a shitty way to go. I think Punk deserves a slightly better ending than that, but that's just me. Personally, I feel like you can make a lot of money from this, and AEW should capitalize on a Punk heel run, because that would be crazy. So that's what I would do, and maybe after 8 months or whenever he recovers, enough time will pass for that to happen. The last piece of news that I want to cover is about Saraya, aka Paige, who just made her AEW debut. The former WWE superstar has not wrestled since December 2017 due to injury, being forced to retire shortly after that. Fans believe that Saraya, following her AEW debut, had finally been cleared to wrestle again, but that does not seem to be the case at all. Meltzer reported that, at least as of fairly recently, Saraya had not yet been cleared to return to the ring to wrestle again. This is what he had to say. We were told that she had not been cleared as of very recently, which would explain her not touching anybody, but she would like to be cleared. So the report suggests that Saraya would like to be cleared, which she has gone on the record to say numerous times, even dating back to her time in WWE. However, it's worth noting that Meltzer is of the belief that even as of fairly recently, she is not permitted to step back in the ring to get physical. So it seems like Tony Khan signed the former Divas champion for a non-wrestling role right now, but with the view of her having a transition to the ring if/when she gets cleared to do so. We'll have to wait and see if she can get cleared, because that could be a big addition to the AEW women's division, and she could be champion in no time. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and comment below your thoughts on any of the news topics that I did cover, and I'll see you all in the next video.